family. We're so excited today. Today is going to be a phenomenal day. We're excited. We do have some guests with us here today, so we're going to introduce them here momentarily, but be ready to be blessed. They have something that is just going to be a blessing for you and your family. So we're excited to share it and just connect with them because they're really awesome people. We've loved connecting with them on a social level and now on a personal level. So y'all get ready as we get going for this next episode. So, all right, we are here on Enjoying Your Blended Family. We've got a fun Friday happening.
Yes, and we have some special guests.
Yeah.
We have Cecile and Frank, and they are from Ella's Blended Family. And they have something special they've created that they use in their family that I just fell in love with because it really aligns with what we believe here at Enjoying Your Blended Family. But before we get into that, I want us to ask some questions and really just get to know you guys and how you got started with where you're at. So first, tell us about first just say hello.
First, welcome.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you so much for having us. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited that both of you are here. So yeah, let's just kind of dive in a little bit. So tell us who you are, your blended family dynamics, and we'll start there.
All right. Well, I met Frank in January 2014. For me, that's when our blended family started. We moved together in March 2015. I think this is when, for the boys, this is when our blended family started, when we moved together. We got married in 2018 in Jamaica.
Oh, wow. I like that. So y'all are from Canada, correct?
Yes.
We are.
So, and then y'all went to Jamaica. So that's a big climate change. I bet that was awesome.
It's yeah, I mean, it was a reason for that. I mean, it was both a wedding, so a big day for us, and it was also a nice family vacation. So the kids remember the whole ordeal of from here to there. It was really our first true family vacation. I mean, we had done others, but this one's really the one that they still remember and talk about today.
Yes, exactly. We wanted create something they will never forget.
Yeah.
So tell us about like his, hers, ours. Tell us about that.
All right. So I have two sons, Benjamin and Nicholas. They're the youngest. So Nicholas is 12 and Benjamin is 14 years old.
And I have two boys, and they go from one of them's going to be 16 in a couple of months, and the other one's turning 18 in July. So we're looking at 15 and 17 years old.
Yeah, and it's
Jacob
and Xavier.
Nice.
Yeah.
So all boys. So you're kind of outnumbered, Cecile, huh?
I know. Yes, and we don't have any hours, baby. Yeah. We wanted to spend as much time with our four boys and really enjoy them. So
nice.
Yeah.
We thought 4 was enough.
Well, that was kind of like us coming together as well. So ours are now kind of in the young adult stage. So our youngest is 18 and our oldest is 23. Well, 24, because we adopted an 18-year-old when she was 18. And then
it's not really adopting at 18, but
yeah. Well, we call it unofficially adopted. But she became a part of our family, and now she's 24. So yeah, and us, we didn't have any together as well. So we're kind of the same, it's like 3, 4, we're good.
Yeah. That's a large family, so it's good.
And then do you have shared custody with their other parents as well? How does that work?
All right. For me, Benjamin and Nicholas are mostly with me. They spend every second weekend with their dads when he's not working. And they spend most of their time with me.
Yeah, and for me, both of them were at 50-50. Actually, it started off the opposite. It started off as they were with me every second weekend. Due to my job, I travel a lot at the time, and being a single dad, I could not have them full time 50-50 because there was nobody to take care of them because of the situation. So once we were comfortable, we lived together. We now had them at 50-50, so they were 1 week on, 1 week off. And as of about a month ago, the oldest is now here full time. He decided to move here full time. So we have 3 of them. They're here 3 out of the 4 weeks, and the other one comes every second week.
Yeah. as soon as like the first couple of years, they wanted to spend as much time together. So we knew that was going to go well. They wanted to spend like all their time together. So it was a good sign for us.
Yeah, it was a little unexpected. I wasn't sure. We weren't sure how they were going to react, especially at that age. Yeah. But when two of the boys would leave, they would ask for the other two. So it was that dynamic really started off. They had their disagreements, of course, just like any other family would. But it was a good sign that they were always asking for the other ones to kind of follow with the activities, I guess.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So that, and just to see that in your family and take off like it did, that's amazing. And so they still have those bonds and everything together, and it's just kind of grew into something beautiful there.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong, like the dynamic between the four boys was really, really challenging at the beginning. Like, I think more for me than for Frank. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm a only child, or maybe because I'm a girl. Boys are different than girls. Maybe I was micromanaging. I don't know, but it was more difficult for me.
You're being a mom.
Do they have similar personalities? Like, do they all like have the same interests?
Yeah, their interests were similar. I think what Cecile wasn't accustomed to is the boys would pick on one or the other, and then after 15 minutes, things are good. Just go ahead and start up again.
Yeah, but I was not okay with that.
Yes, I'm not a roughhouse person, and I did not teach my kids to roughhouse. And so when they're around other kids that do, it doesn't go well because they're like,
yeah.
They don't roughhouse here. We've never had any. There has never been any physical between the boys.
It's just the way they talked. So like they were rough, and I don't know.
Yeah. It was more being boys.
Yes, and that was probably my challenge because I was not around boys. Like it was more around cousins, and they were mostly girls. So
it's knowing when the line was drawn. Sometimes you go, the boys are being boys, but at what point is it like, okay, this is not right anymore?
Right.
That's where
I had a hard time finding that line,
trying to get that line. That is a challenge. And just within siblings alone, biological siblings, you see that, and then you had that in a blended family, and it really is you're trying to figure out, okay, how sensitive do we be do we to make this just blend well. So
okay, and I have a question, because for the longest I just thought your name was Ella.
A lot of people think so,
and then it wasn't until your post where you reintroduced each other or yourselves to your Instagram community, and I was like, wait, what? Then why is it called Ella's? And I did a little research. So tell us how Ella, which is your dog, right?
Yes, it's my dog.
Star of y'all's blended family.
Yes. Well, when I start
there's Ella.
Vlogging, that's Ella.
She's
well, she's a girl, so she's the last one to complete our family. So I wanted a female. So I think Ella was part of our family when I started my blog. So it was one sleepless night. I was trying to find like a clever name for a blog that will, stand out. And I was thinking about Ella because she was just new to our family. So it came up with Ella's Blended Family. She was the one that, to complete our family. And I thought it was suitable. And I was going to write our activities and everything around her. Like she's going to.
It was from the eyes of Ella, basically.
Yeah, all our activities and travel and stuff like that, I write in Ella's perspective. And all the growing stuff and all the tips and strategies, I write like under my name. But the rest, it's in Ella's perspective.
Okay, so I haven't read any of those yet. I need to. That sounds interesting.
Yeah. So everything we do, like travel and visit stuff, it's in Ella's eyes. So she explained what we're doing and how we do things, and she follows us everywhere. So
that is awesome. I love it. Y'all have a product coming out, but before we get to that, I want to stay on the blog for a moment. So when did this start? When did you? What was the heart of saying I want to blog this, or why?
All right. Yeah. Well, I was a registered nurse for 15 years. I
Okay.
work mostly in research and management. I love helping people. I left my career and I bought my parents' ice cream shop. But
Oh,
I
fun.
miss, yeah, I miss helping people.
Mm.
And when I met Frank in 2014, like anybody blended family, I had a hard time finding what I was looking for to manage my new family. I
Mm.
did some research, I read books, I even call like our local family community support and stuff like that, but I couldn't find what I was looking for. And I wanted to create something that I couldn't have when I was looking for that support. So I start thinking maybe I should start writing. So I was searching and the blog came and I said, you know what, Frank, I want to start a blog. But it's more complicated than I thought. So I'm happy Frank was there because the technical part it's complicated, like, you know, on the internet and stuff like that. So I'm glad he was the technical guy and I was just writing stuff and learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
That's
just
awesome.
started in April 2020, like a
Okay.
year ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and
love
you'll see
that.
an article approximately every 2 weeks. You'll get an article
Yeah.
out there
Yeah.
Okay.
on all subjects.
So y'all do travel, you do blended family topics, and just kind of what are some of the themes you do talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do try. My goal is to share what we do to inspire family to do things like to so they can create a happy family. So we do activities like board games to connect with family members and bond with families. I give positive strategies like real stories. I do cooking. We love cooking, and I've been doing that for my kids. I think it's something we should learn like at an early age. It's something all kids should learn. So we cook a lot. So we do like a family activity. Last March, we did a cooking class, like a cooking adventures with kids. We were in lockdown, so there was nothing to do. So we did like a 5-day culinary cooking. So the kids were live on Facebook and we were cooking. They chose like 5 recipe from any country. And
Oh, okay.
they chose their recipe and they were cooking online. And I think it helped them to like be live, and I don't know.
Yeah, it opens up their mind to that we live in the east coast of Canada, so the diversity, the amount of people that we have here being a little, now that we're getting a lot more people from different countries, but we're certainly not a Montreal or a New York City where you have people from all cultures all over the world. So I think this helps. It shows things that were not local.
Yeah.
Right? We went from authentic Thai food to German cuisine. It was really all over the world.
Do you know what we did? We did Texas pulled pork.
Oh, really? Yes.
Yes, we did.
That
That's
is
Nicholas.
big here, yes.
We did that. So
That
Nicholas
is awesome.
explained things on Texas.
Oh, I love that. Did he say y'all just to really?
Oh, you should have, right? No, he didn't, but I'll teach him.
We can relate so much to that. We love culture and diversity, and there's so much beauty in the world, and so many different cultures, and we love seeing and exposing ourselves and our kids to that as well. So, you know, kudos to the two of you for doing that for your family. We did the same thing for Christmas. She came up with the idea of saying, well, let's do a themed Christmas. And so she asked the kids, well, what culture, you know, what area would you want? And we did like a little survey. And so Mexico, Hispanic kind of won for us. So
and my kids are half Hispanic. Their grandparents are from Mexico. So just starting there and doing some of those traditions and really understanding the why behind them. And I didn't realize so much of the why is based on Christianity for the different cultures as well, which makes sense because, you know, it's Jesus' birthday. But, you know, we do these silly things, just even as far as the piñata that I've always known, you know, that in Mexican culture at Christmas would do a piñata, and I didn't realize the significance behind that with the 7 deadly sins and this stuff. So it opened up these conversations, and the kids and ours are older, and they loved it. Like they absolutely loved it.
So anytime you can expose that culture, I love that. So that is awesome with the cooking, and what better way to do that over food, right?
I know.
Especially with boys,
right? So fun. And since then, they've been like really involved in the blog. They're really open, and I don't know, it really brought us really closer to over the summer. And yeah.
So that kind of gave them a buy-in to it as well. That's something that y'all did together.
Yep. It's really a family blog, really.
Yeah, it's, I mean, even from the youngest to the oldest, you would think a 17-year-old wouldn't really have, at that age, really want to have any part of it. And it's really the friends are always the most important thing. But even from the 17-year-old's perspective, if we ask him, hey, you want to do this or want to do that, he's game.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Nice.
What a good way to bring in your family and just kind of keep y'all close and build those relationships. Kind of like you talked about going to Jamaica and creating a travel experience. I can think of several that we've had, and we're just intentional there. They still talk about it today. So that is just building that and then doing something like a blog, something just to bring you together. That is awesome.
And I'll say the first thing that with Ella's Blended Family that caught my eye was around Halloween, when you were doing the game nights and the different suggestions in there. And that's what caught my attention, because we, do similar stuff. And I was like, wow, but your games were different, like not your typical games, right? They were.
Yes, they were different. Yeah.
I can't even think to me, it made it like Halloween kind of, really figuring out and discovering, like, not scary stuff, but mystery type.
Yeah, it was Mysterium and stuff like that. All Halloween related board games. Yeah. Yeah,
very unique games. Games that you go so creative. So, and these are fun games. They're very popular games, but even though we didn't know about them.
Yeah, that's what was cool. It caught my attention. And then I'm not sure how I stumbled upon this next part, which is what had me want you guys to come on here and talk, is the bucket list.
Yes.
Because we have like a date night jar that has all these ideas in there. And even one of those in the date night jar is to create a family bucket list. So when I started looking through what your bucket list was and how you got the whole family involved, it just really intrigued me. So do you want to tell us how that came about and like how y'all use it in your family?
Hey, we'll be back momentarily. Check out this announcement.
Are you tired of focusing only on the negative in your blended family and just want to be able to enjoy it? Randall and Scarlett here, and that's where I found myself years ago, and we began to search and seek out solutions for our family so that we could experience that enjoyment that we hope so much we envisioned when we married each other. So after years of searching and looking for things and becoming very intentional on helping our blended family, we found 5 steps that we began to follow to help our blended family. And we put those things together in this Mom's Quick Guide to Blending Her Step Family. These are going to be 5 steps to blending success.
Yeah, and we realize that once we start doing things, once we start getting intentional and quit just complaining about it, but actually doing things to help us get those results we wanted, that's when we really start seeing a change. And there's power in that when you do that. That's why this guide is so powerful, that we walk you through exactly what we've learned. This took us over almost 15 years to learn, to get down to where now we're seeing the success from, we're seeing it, and we want you to have this guide so that you can get there so much quicker. Right now, you can have that guide. This is about a $97 thing, but right now we're giving it to you for $7. That's it. No catch. We also want to sweeten the deal a little bit, so we're throwing in 5 additional bonuses, resources that can just add to this. Our heart is we really want you to have these tools and tips and tricks to really see success in your family. Not saying that is bad right now, but man, whenever you start doing these things, there becomes so much power in your family, and you see so many more blessings from it. So get your copy today, only $7 right now. This is about a $374 value, $7 right now. So get it today while we still have this offer going. The link will be below in the show notes. Now back to this episode.
Sure. I feel like we lost so many opportunities the last 2 years. I feel that we're waiting for things to get normal again and we miss things out. So one night, it's during the night all the time that those cool ideas come up. So I thought, why not do a bucket list? So when I wake up, I said, well, we'll do a family bucket list for a New Year resolution. So this is where the idea come from. And of course, if it's a family bucket list, we have to include every family, like every idea from everyone. So it all started with that idea. And so I made all the PDF ready in the package.
You got it here. You probably don't, I don't know how well.
I think you saw it, right?
Yes, I have it printed out. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So the idea came with that because I believe that memories and creating, it's so more important than just materials and money and stuff like that. I think this is what the kids will remember and they will do it, their kids, something that will stay with them forever. So Frank can explain how we've done it.
We basically get everybody around our kitchen table. So you can just imagine 4 boys in an activity. So it was slightly loud at times, but loud in a good way. It was very active discussion. And what we did is we passed along one of the sheets to each of the boys. And without talking about what they were going to write, they would all write down one activity or item for the bucket list for each of the seasons. So winter, spring, summer, fall. So we'd be able to have something that was more throughout the year instead of having 12 winter activities and not having time to do them. This really spaced it out and kind of gave something, a goal, I guess, for a whole year, not just for a shorter time frame. So each of the boys kind of filled that up, including us. We all had activities. So at the end of the day, 6 times 4, so we have 24 items to do throughout the year. These items had to be something that was doable. So we obviously the items that you think that are feasible. So taking that into consideration. The ironic thing is some of the items that we saw, some of them came out as being very common. For example, building a garden in the backyard. I think four out of the 6 put the same thing without touching anybody. Yeah. However, so many items that the boys put in were surprises, the things that we didn't even know about them.
Yeah.
For example, the oldest and the youngest. Well, we knew the youngest had an interest in hunting, for example. The oldest, I would have never imagined that was to be the case. And they had the oldest and youngest had some very similar activities to do. So these are the 2 that really have the biggest age difference. So at 17 and 12, 5 years difference, to have common taste is a little more difficult. But here we have 3 items that both of them had on their list. Wow. So that helps them, and they were surprised to see that each other had the same items. So we're going to have to try to really get all of this list knocked out by the time we hit December 31st of next year. So we're getting ready to go.
Yes, we have like a full year of interesting adventure. So we have fishing, we have sleeping in a authentic, like in like a tent. It's more like a tent or cabin,
dome,
like a dome. We have rock climbing. We have all kinds of stuff, and some I will have to be creative and find a way to do it, but I have to start searching and find ways to make it happen.
Yeah, I saw in there that you said like if they say to go to Jamaica, you may not be able to take them all to Jamaica, but having a themed night and I love themed nights. So I'm like, this is my girl right here.
Right. You always find a solution, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
I love that.
And how beautiful that everything y'all are planning, you're being very intentional, because enjoying your blended family, that is our heart, like in the core stuff that we believe in. And that is, if you're intentional in those relationships, then the rest, it just like flows into place. But sometimes we get so busy with all the things that we think our kids want or that society says we have to do, and it takes away and pulls away from that family time, which is what we found as our problem. And that's how the blog got started for us, about enjoying the moment turned into enjoying your blended family, to be intentional. So I just sit here and can imagine your family doing these adventures that each one of your kids said. So they all have that buy-in to it. Oh, it's
Well, and I love that you ask them, because we're so big proponents that we just assume that we know what our kids want. But whenever you actually sit them down and start asking questions like you're doing, like you said, you're like, what, really? Like I would have never guessed that this was your answer.
Yeah. And what I love about even like Benjamin, if he doesn't like something, he will still go and do whatever his brother wants to do, because, you know, it's the experience, and you'll be surprised. Sometimes you try something out and you know what? It's fun.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it's being open mind.
That's what I have to do with this guy all the time. He's like, really, we're gonna do that, and I'm like, just try.
Just go with it. So it is fun, and she is the very creative type, like you as well, and I'm more the technical behind the scenes type, you know, and it's a great balance, right?
Yeah,
you know, it gets me out of my comfort zone, and I pull her back a little bit, like, no, we can't do that, or you know, we balance each other out enough, and then when you bring in the kids, and the intentionality that you're doing is great. And I loved just looking at your bucket list. I was looking at the back end of it, and you had talked about the statistics of more than 70% of blended families fail, and that over 1,300 step families are formed every day in the U.S. alone.
Wow.
And you know, these are some of the same statistics that we run into as well. And it's so powerful that doing things like this, like you creating this bucket list and sharing it with the world to be able to get, is powerful. That whenever you take these little steps and you become intentional, the power that comes from that, and the beauty that helps bond your family and blend your family so well together. So just awesome job at what you're doing, and just the encouragement that you're bringing to us and to all the blended families out there. So just thank you both for your hearts. That's amazing.
Thank you. That's what we want, to change that statistic just for the better for everyone. And the bucket list, I mean, it's, if we plan in advance, it's doable. Sometimes if you don't plan, nothing happens, right?
Oh, so good. So good.
And it's if you look at it and you think of like the Pinterest world that we live in as well, there's so many things that are out there, and it's just like, oh, it's just a piece of paper. But it's not. It's the paper is the tool that you're using. It's the conversation. It's the stuff like you're talking about with your boys that you discover about them that leads to such just incredible memories that y'all are going to make. So it is just a piece of paper that you're printing, but that's just that tool to help get the rest out there.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, so powerful. So you have already given us so many valuable nuggets, just takeaways from this. But last question that we'd love to ask is just, what's one piece of advice that you could share and encourage another blended family that y'all have learned along your journey?
I was thinking about this morning, and Scarlett and Randy, I have so many, but there's one that's really important for me, and this is the one that I want to share if you want to move forward like in your blended family. And I think it's being aware and understanding of every member of your blended family. I think if you put yourself in the shoes of every members, if you're able to do that, the perspective you have, or it will help you change the way you see things, and you're going to see things really different. Like if, let's just say, like a child, you see things like he doesn't like you, you're going to see things like maybe it's a sad child, maybe he is just grieving the loss of his parent together. It's going to be totally different, right? So instead of being angry at him, it's going to be more like compassionate at him, and the outcome will be more positive. You know, you're going to be more compassionate to him than being angry because you think that he doesn't like you. It's not that. It's just sometimes we're not aware of people's feeling. I think if we can do that, the outcome is very different. So if we can get there, I think blended family can move forward for a better and blended family that works.
Yeah. So
I love
awesome.
that.
Love
Yes.
that. And you're so right. And I love that you shared that because it is it's easy to get into the me perspective in blended families, just in life general. But whenever you step out and you have that compassion for your kids and what are they thinking? What are they really going through? And we shared before that our kids, ours are now adults. They're looking back at some of the things that we went through as a family now they didn't even know they were struggling with. They just, their outer surface was they were unhappy or they were acting out, but really getting down to the heart of why they were was, just the things that they're discovering now. But yeah, as a parent looking back and saying, what are they going through? And putting yourself in their shoes, that is so powerful. Love that.
Yeah, I love that advice.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. So we just, man, love everything that y'all have brought here today. I know this has blessed so many families. How can our listeners get a hold of this, our bucket list? Are they able to get this?
Yeah, I mean, you can go directly to our website, to the website, the blog, which is ellasblendedfamily.com.
Okay.
Another great place is to go to our Instagram, which
Okay.
is again at Ella's underscore. You might as well
Yeah,
say it.
it's
really
at
complicated.
Yeah, it's at Ella's. Don't forget the S underscore blended family underscore.
Okay.
And the link is right there. And I think the bucket list is right on top. It's the first link to click on, and you can print it over there. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. So
that's awesome.
The quickest way to go directly to the blog is the easiest way.
Okay.
You can find, plus you'll find out the bucket list is one of the tools that we have on. We try to give a tool out to for every blog we do now. That's kind of
nice.
the goal.
Okay.
If there's something that's actually of value, of course.
Yes.
It's something that we try to do. I think it helps. It's like you mentioned before. It's not that the piece of paper is nothing special. It's what you do with it. I guess really what counts. And most of the tools that we have are kind of in the similar ideas. It's just kind of a little push, a little nudge in the direction of, hey, you can do this.
Yeah.
It's easy to do and it doesn't take time.
Love that.
And you can modify it the way it works for your family too. Like it doesn't have to be like exactly the way we did it, but you can adjust it like the way you want.
Love that. Love that, because you're so right. Every family is different. We all have different dynamics, and you take this tool and you just use it and modify it to you, but it's really that outcome. It's being intentional. And that's kind of your resources helping guide that intentionality. So love that. Love that so much. And what we'll do is we'll put those links in our show notes. That way it'll be easy clicks for any of our listeners to access that and follow your blog. Cause man, that's powerful. I love just the creativeness too. The eyes from Ella, right? I love that. That is so creative. So no, thank you both for sharing and just being here and just offering that, because we were in the same boat when we started our blended family. We were looking for resources. We knew we wanted this to work, and we knew it was hard and it was a challenge at times, and resources were limited. So, I love that you are doing the same thing, pouring more resource into this community, just so that we can all lock arms and just strengthen our families together. So love that.
That's right.
Yeah. And if anybody that goes on our blog doesn't find the topic they're looking for, please feel free to send us any ideas of topics that you may or may not need, because we're always looking for something that it's really, if a lot of people are asking for topic A and we didn't know about it, we may not write about topic A, but if we see a lot of demand or a lot of questions surrounding something, that allows us to create something that can maybe help out a lot more people that way.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah,
thank you both for your heart. Seriously.
Yeah, I love your heart. That's exactly what I was thinking, is like you can feel your hearts as y'all speak, and like your love and compassion for other families going through the same thing.
So
thank you so much for having us on the show.
Oh yeah, it's a pleasure. It's always great to connect, and I love just meeting the two of you, and I know this is just the start of a great friendship. So and that's awesome. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up for today. we'll wrap up this episode. There is so much value that came today for every blended family listening. So I know everybody's going to be able to take this and digest it and be like, wow, okay, just taking these small intentional steps, using some of these tools that are free, that are just at our fingertips, and using those as just the catapult to really dive into your family and continue creating those bonds and experiences together, just to make your blended family process that much more smooth, that much more enjoyable, and you're just creating something beautiful. So again, thank the two of you. I thank you for being here with us, and I'm sure this won't be the last time.
That's for sure.
But we will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But we will see everybody on the next one. So bye, guys.
Bye.
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 Hey, thanks for joining us for another fun Friday here at Enjoying Your Blended Family. All the links we talked about today are in the show notes. And if you enjoyed listening, be sure to subscribe because it's free and it lets you know when we have another episode out for you to listen to.
And if you don't mind helping us out so we can start reaching more people, leave us a rating and review. You never know when we'll give you a shout out. Until next time, have fun being intentional and remember to enjoy the moment.